In this video, we'll show you how to use CiviCRM to send bulk emails to your chapter's mailing list. Now that you know the ins and outs of finding your contacts, members, and contributors, you might be itching to reach out to them, to thank them for their support, to enlist volunteers for your annual bike festival, or to announce the schedule for this season's pub crawls. Well, we'll walk you through the process. From your CiviCRM homepage, go to Mailings in the top nav, then select New Mailing. The first thing you'll need to do is give your mailing a name. We strongly recommend including your chapter's acronym at the beginning of the name, and then giving it a title that will remind you what the email is about. If you have any templates created, you can use them by selecting the appropriate template from this drop-down menu. We'll skip the template in this example. For the sender's email address, you'll want to select an address from the drop-down menu that has been set up for your chapter. If your chapter's never sent a mailing, you'll have to request a mail from address from our chapter program manager. Double-check to be sure you've selected the correct mail from address in this step. Next, you'll select your recipients. For your mail to send successfully, you must select the group indicated as the mailing list, so be sure to select carefully on this step. I'm going to choose Combo for this example because that's what I have access to. You can also repurpose recipient lists from previous mailings, choosing to either include or exclude recipients from previous sends. Any contact who's on both an include list and an exclude list will be excluded from the mailing. Enter your subject line here. At this point, we'll note that you can save your mailing at any point along the way and come back later to continue working on it. Just click on the Save Draft button at the bottom of the screen. You'll be taken to a screen showing all draft and unscheduled mailings, where your draft will appear on top. You can also get to this page at any time by going to the Mailings menu in the top nav and selecting Draft and Unscheduled Mailings from the drop-down menu. To pick up where you left off, click on the Continue link next to your mailing. At the top, you'll see these tabs for various email settings. The Publication, Responses, and Tracking tabs are most commonly left on their default settings. If you have attachments, you can add them on the Attachments tab. You can include a maximum of 3 attachments for a combined total of up to 2 megabytes. Your email won't send if you exceed this limit. If possible, use hyperlinks for larger files. The Header and Footer tab allows you to add a preset header or footer to your email. If your chapter has a header set up, you can select it from the drop-down menu. I'll use the SDMB header as an example. Make sure you select the appropriate one named with your chapter's acronym. If you need a header or a template set up, please contact our Chapter Services department. While the header is optional, the footer is very important. If you have a header set up, you'll also have a footer. If you do, select that. If you don't have a header and footer set up, and your chapter's template does not include IMBA's mailing address and opt-out links, please select the IMBA Simple Chapter footer. I'll choose the footer that matches my header. This messaging is required for legal purposes. All mass mailings must include this information, which offers recipients the option to unsubscribe or opt out of future mailings. Now we get to writing the email. For the body of your email, you can either upload an existing text or HTML file, or you can write it from scratch as you would in a typical email interface. The editing widgets are pretty standard, allowing you to format your text, apply styles, insert images, and even edit the source code. You can take a look at a formatted preview by clicking the Preview as HTML link here. Next, you'll have an opportunity to send yourself or other approvers a test email so you can make sure everything looks good and the mailing will be sent as intended. You want to make sure everything is clean and final before you send it out to your mailing list. This is not the step in which you can send the mailing out to your mailing list. That comes on the next screen. Enter the email address where you want the test email sent and click the Send button. The test email will be sent with Civi Mail Draft added to your subject line. Once you've reviewed the test email and everything looks ready to go, the final screen allows you to either send the email out immediately or schedule it to send out at a later date and time. Use the calendar to select a date. For the time, start entering a time and then use the arrow keys to toggle to the correct time. When you're ready, click on Submit Mailing. If you send it immediately, you'll not be able to cancel it. However, if it's still scheduled to go out later, you'll have the chance to cancel if needed before the send date and time comes around. Once submitted, you'll be taken to the Scheduled and Sent Mailings page with your mailing at the top and its scheduled sent date displayed. You can also get to this page at any time by going to Mailings in the top nav and clicking on Scheduled and Sent Mailings. From here, you can view reporting, reuse your email, or cancel it if it has not yet sent. Click on the report link next to your mailing to view all stats captured. Since this one hasn't gone out yet, there isn't much to look at. Let's look at one that has been sent. Here you can see the rate of successful delivery, opens, click-throughs, bounce-backs, opt-out requests, and more. And you can click on each of these links for more details. This email included a number of links, and you can see how many people are clicking on each one. If you click on a number, it'll even show you which individuals did the clicking. Pretty nifty, eh? Now let's say you have a draft saved or have a scheduled email pending, and you come back later and need to find it. Simply go to Mailings and choose either Draft and Unscheduled Mailings to find a draft, or Scheduled and Sent Mailings to find an email you have scheduled. I'll use our scheduled email as an example, so I'll select Scheduled and Sent Mailings. Your email may appear right at the top of the list, but let's say it doesn't. In both areas, you'll be given a number of parameters by which to search for your email. You can search by mailing name, by entering the name of your mailing, or any keyword in it. Including your chapter's acronym in the email name will make your emails easy to find in a search. You can also search by mailing date or by the name of the person who created it. The mailing status parameters will be pre-selected based on which option you chose above, but you can change them here if you like. Then click Search. And there it is. So there you go. Now you're ready to shoot emails to your mailing list and track your results. Please use this feature judiciously and avoid spamming your mailing list too frequently with frivolous emails. You'll want your emails to be useful and impactful and not relegated to people's junk folders. Go forth and bulk email, but please do so responsibly.